that is talent. That is Laura Benanti, a Tony Award-winning actress starring in She Loves Me, which is at Studio
54.
Jesus. Now, see, I was there back in the day.
Yeah.
You're too young, so don't
I am too young.
Leave that alone. Tell us about this.
It is a beautiful, old-fashioned musical from 1962 based on something called Parfumery. And the easiest way to describe it is that most people know the film You've Got Mail.
Yes.
And it's based on She Loves Me and Parfumery and Shop Around the Corner. So what I love about it is even though it's a revival, it feels really fresh and modern, and people come and they're laughing and crying, and it's a feel-good musical at a time when I think we all would like to feel good.
You grew up in New Jersey.
I did grow up in New Jersey.
In Kinnelon?
Kinnelon.
Not to be confused with Kenilworth.
Yes, exactly.
What,
No.
would you upset if I'm confused with
How dare you, first of all,
I'm sorry.
Kenilworth.
I apologize.
We have a feud. All the Kinnels, you know.
Is that true?
No.
Because we have a huge audience in
Nobody
Kenilworth.
cares.
Don't offend them.
Well, I love you, Kenilworth.
See? And you want them to come and see the play.
Exactly.
Okay. So that being said, when you're a kid,
Yeah.
school plays,
Yeah.
how early on?
You know, I have always wanted to be in musical theater. I always wanted to be on Broadway from the time I can remember. I do not remember a time where that was not my goal. So the first thing I did, I was 13 years old. I played Casilda and the Gondoliers at the Pequannock Gilbert and Sullivan Society.
Up on Route 23?
Exactly.
Oh, stop.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
And so then I did the Barn Theater, which is community theater in Montville. And I did Evita there and Follies and Into the Woods. At 15 years old, I played Cinderella in Into the Woods at the Barn Theater. And 6 years later, I played Cinderella in Into the Woods on Broadway. So it was...
You were on Broadway at...
I was on Broadway at 18. I auditioned to play Liesl in The Sound of Music, the revival of The Sound of Music on Broadway. I auditioned to play Liesl, and they ended up casting me as the understudy for Maria. And then when the actress who played Maria, Rebecca Luker is her name, when she left the show, I took over, and I played Maria opposite Richard Chamberlain when I was 19 years old.
Go ahead, describe it.
It was unbelievable. You know, the last job I had was in New Jersey, shoveling manure into bags and carrying them to people's cars at Terulian Daughters.
What?
Yeah, Terulian Daughters. It's not there anymore, but that was my job before I was on Broadway. I was just shoveling poop. Now I'm in show business, so it's a different kind of poop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly. And when your family and your friends come see you.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
My mother, who's an incredible voice teacher in New Jersey, she has Linda Benanti Voice Studios. She taught me how to sing my entire life. She was an incredible actress as well. She was so proud. I mean, how can you not be? I had been a senior in high school doing my high school musical, and then the next year I'm on Broadway playing Maria.
So when you come out that door after the show.
After Sound of Music?
Yeah,
Any show. We don't care.
You come out the door and they're there.
My parents?
Yeah.
Oh, they're crying.
Are you?
Am I crying?
Yeah.
Maybe. Sometimes.
And so today, when you come out,
Yeah.
what's it like?
Today when I come out?
Yeah,
I'm
is this like business?
No, it's not business.
It's still a huge charge.
I get to, all I ever wanted was to be on Broadway. All I ever wanted was to be a Broadway star. I didn't want to be on TV. I didn't want to be in movies.
Really?
I didn't care. All I wanted was to be Julie Andrews and Barbara Cook and Bernadette Peters and Patti LuPone and Chita Rivera. These women were my idols. Broadway, that's all I wanted. So for me to achieve that goal at the age of 18 was remarkable. And however many years later, just a few.
Just a couple.
5 or 6.
I thought it was 3, but
Thank
go ahead.
you. It's astonishing to me. I try to let every note that comes out of my mouth be thank you, because I'm just so grateful that I get to do what I love for a living. I don't have to shovel manure, you know what I mean?
Well, other than that, which I don't think you'll be doing again anytime soon,
But
the other terrific people in this play, talk about them.
Yes.
Is Jane Krakowski?
She's a genius. I don't know if I've ever met she's just so comedically gifted. And I think it comes from the fact that she comes from a place of truth. Yes, she's funny, but she really grounds her characters in truth. Oh, there she is.
There you are.
Yep, I'm the one with the brown hair.
Yeah, great chemistry.
Yeah, well, she's a Jersey girl.
Yes, she is.
You know, her parents worked at the Barn Theater that I was telling you about, and she would go with them to rehearsal, and they would put her to sleep in her crib and do the show and then bring her home. So when I was working at the Barn Theater, she was like a legend there because she had already gone to Hollywood and become successful.
Right.
So yeah, I feel honored to be working with her. She's a brilliant person.
Why are you writing a book called How I Stole Your Boyfriend?
The whole title is I stole your boyfriend and other monstrous acts on my way to becoming a human woman.
What's up with that?
I think that it's not prescriptive by any means. It is not like, it's not a self-help book, but I do think that if any young women could read this book
Yes.
and read some of the things that I am embarrassed that I did as a teenager and as in my early 20s,
Yes.
if I could prevent them from making some of those mistakes, then I will feel like it's, it's all been for good.
Let's do this.
Okay, what are we doing?
Have you ever stolen
Yeah.
one of your girlfriend's
Yes.
boyfriends?
I did.
Because if you're going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
I've never. Okay. This girlfriend of yours, was it a good friend?
Yeah, she was my roommate.
Okay, this is further than I'm willing to go.
Okay.
When it happened,
Yeah.
did you keep it from her?
No.
You told her.
Yeah.
So you did this terrible thing.
Terrible
and then
thing.
were so guilted by it that you had to tell her?
No, it was worse than that. I wasn't guilted like, I feel so bad for you. I was like, please don't be mad at me. Garbage person. Garbage person.
What?
I know. It's horrible. I'm a much better person now.
I'm going to give you mine. You tell me how bad I am.
Yeah, okay.
We're in college.
Yeah.
About the same time you were.
Yeah.
So that was a joke. So
Yeah.
we're in this, and my friend says to me,
Yeah.
watch this. And he had a beautiful girlfriend, and I knew
Yeah.
she wasn't into him that much. And
Oh,
he said,
okay.
could you make sure she gets home safe? Because he was running an track
And
meet
you
the
made
next
sure.
day. And I said, yes.
Yeah.
And I made sure she got home. And we wound up dating after that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even face him.
Yeah.
And he never
It's-
talked to me again.
Well, understandably.
You should have seen this girl.
Well, I'm sure she was
I
very
told my wife
beautiful.
about this, by the way.
Well, good. I was going to say, I hope this isn't just like a confession that your wife is just going to be
Yes.
like shredding your clothes when you get
No,
home. Your
actually,
whole house is
yes.
on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something that this girl is somebody that I know. She's a wonderful actress. She's hilarious and adorable, and
Well, why
she
would
has
you write this
forgiven me.
book?
Why would I write this? It's a book of comedic essays.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's
I
a
thought
book.
it was like some sort of thing you want to say, these are horrible things I've done.
No, I mean, it's a book of comedic essays about my life. It's about growing up in New Jersey and being sort of an
Okay.
outcast for being obsessed with musical theater, coming to New York at 18, living by myself, not having any girlfriends because anyone my age was in college.
Not having any girlfriends.
How could I?
You didn't have friends?
No, I was 18 years old. The only people in my show were either like 15 years older than me or the kids. So who am I going to be friends with? So unfortunately, what happened is I ended up having being a serial monogamous and having a string of boyfriends because I was so lonely. And by the time all like girls my own age graduated college, they already had their group of friends. They didn't want to be friends with me. And also I'd already been doing theater for 4 or 5 years. So, who knows what they felt about that. And so then the first real friend I get, I steal her boyfriend.
But you're a good person, I could tell.
I thank you. I appreciate that. I do think I'm a good person, and I think good people make mistakes, and I
Yes.
think that you can glean humor from that, which I certainly do in this book. But also, I want it to be a little bit of a warning to young women that you have to prioritize your female friendships because those are the
Yes.
ones that stay. Boys are for sometimes, but girls are forever.
We're terrible people. You're not.
You're mostly terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this
Yeah.
before I get a couple minutes left.
Okay. Should we talk about She Loves Me, the play I'm in,
Go
or
ahead.
should we just talk about boyfriends?
I'm sorry. My producer's going to kill me for doing this. Okay, talk about the play.
Okay.
I was so obsessed and feeling guilty about my friend Tim. I'm sorry. if you're
I'm
still
sorry,
watching.
Tim. Wait, where's the camera?
No, it doesn't matter. No, stop.
sorry, Tim.
Stop. Who's the play for?
Who is it for?
Okay,
It's-
Georgette wanted me to ask
The
you
play
that.
is for everyone. The thing that I love when I look into the audience is that it's like little girls with their moms. So it's intergenerational. And men love it too. It's so funny. I think people don't understand how funny it is. They think it's just gonna be like, oh, it's romantic, but it's laugh out loud funny. The performances, I'm not talking about myself, but the performances are
Who
spectacular.
are the other people?
Jane
Zach-
Krakowski, Zachary Levi, Gavin Creel.
They're talented people.
So talented. We just got 9 Drama Desk nominations, the most of any show.
But awards don't matter, right?
No.
Right?
Right.
Yes. Tell everyone where it is again.
It is at Studio 54.
On 54th Street.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. You love what you do.
Yeah.
Number one lesson, number one tip you want to offer anyone out there watching who says, I want to go into acting. You say?
I say if it is the only thing that you can imagine yourself doing, then do it. If you can imagine yourself doing anything else, then do that thing. Because for me, there's not anything on this earth that I would rather do
So
than
if you
my
weren't
job.
doing this,
I don't know what I'd be doing.
shoveling.
Shoveling poop?
Laura Benatti is the Tony Award-winning actress
Benanti.
starring in She
Loves
Loves
Me.
Me, and she stole her best
No,
girlfriend's
not cool.
boyfriend, roommate,
You
and it was wrong, and
shut
she
your
feels
mouth.
bad
Sorry
about
it, Tim.
No.
Let's never forget Tim. Hashtag never forget Tim.
We'll be back after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by RWJ Barnabas Health, Valley National Bank, Berkeley College, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, and by the law firm of Gibbons PC. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.